Hallo, guten Abend. Okay, we'll wait a few minutes for the rest of them also to join in. Okay, so 2 3 more minutes we'll wait and then we can start. Okay. Yeah. Hello, guten Abend. Am I audible? Yeah. Yeah, or nein?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Guten Abend, ma'am.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just uh, ask them to enable your chats. I think the chats are not yet enabled. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Also, Diwali is gonna be a holiday, so you'll get an update probably officially from the team. But since I got to know yesterday, I just thought I'll tell y'all. So next week we are only gonna have one class, which is gonna be on Friday. That is after Diwali. So all those of you all okay, who have joined late or who need to go through the previous recordings, you all can do that at this time. So you all might get like 4 5 days back to back to finish all the recordings. So you all can do that. If you all have any questions, you all can let me know. Okay. So Monday and Wednesday we won't be having a class. Your next class is directly gonna be on Friday. Okay, you'll get a reminder, you'll get an update on the group. I'm guessing, but I thought I'll just let you all know. Okay. All right. So we'll pick up where we left off from. So I'll do a quick recap with you for conjugation. So like we were watching those videos, to practice conjugations. So today we will practice a little bit more of conjugations and verbs. Okay, so we'll do like a brush up class, a revision class today, because since we're gonna be having a break, I don't want to start with a new topic right now and keep it hanging for the next 3 4 days. So next class we meet, which is gonna be next week on Friday. We're gonna be starting directly with grammar. Okay, so we will see how to use these verbs in sentences. Okay, how to do construction of questions, how to basically construct sentences. Okay, what are the different types of communication, or what are the different types of questions we can have, what are the different types of statements we can build. So this is where your course will pick up on. Of course, all of this we're not going to be doing in one class. I'm just letting you know, giving you an idea of what all we will have in the coming classes. So your A1 will be mostly focused on that. It will be focused on a more basic form of communication, that is question answer. Okay, so today we will just do a recap course. So if you all have any doubts regarding any topic that we have done previously, especially those of y'all who joined in later in the course. Okay, alphabets, numbers, pronunciations, anything at all, y'all can let me know. Okay, so we can discuss that. Okay, so today, like I said, we will just revise the conjugation. So we do some more verbs. Okay, all right, so I'll give you all some exercises, we'll do some practice. Okay, so that's all we'll be doing today. All right, so I'll continue with the videos that we left off of. So we saw the video partially for regelmäßiger Verben, right? So we'll finish that, then we will see a little bit of unregelmäßiger Verben. Try to repeat the conjugations along with that video. Okay, we're playing it so that you get used to it, and then we will do the conjugations of the verbs. Clear? All right, so okay, so we begin in here. I'll share my screen. Okay, just tell me if the audio is clear. Okay,
There are also some special cases.
yeah, is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll quickly revise our verbs and then we will go to the conjugations. Okay, if you'll have any questions, right now your chat is not active, so y'all can probably just note it. And once we are done with the video, y'all can ask me. Okay, all right, so we begin in yes.
There are a few verbs where the Verbstamm ends on either S or SZ or Z, for example, reisen and tanzen. When conjugating with du, the ending st changes to only t. Here are the two verbs. The first one is reisen. Ich reise, du reist, sie reisen, sie es reist, wir reisen, ihr reist, sie reisen, sie reisen. As you can see, the conjugation of du just takes the ending t and not st, since the Verbstamm already has an s. Let's look at the second example. Tanzen. Ich tanze, du tanzt, sie tanzen, sie es tanzt, wir tanzen, ihr tanzt, sie tanzen, sie tanzen. Here also the conjugation of du just takes the ending te and not st. There are some more special cases. Verbs with a Verbstamm ending in de or te. For example, arbeiten, warten, antworten. When conjugating these verbs with du, you will not use the ending st but ast. This is because of pronunciation. When conjugating the verb with rs or ihr, you will use the ending et. Here's the conjugation for arbeiten. Ich arbeite. Du arbeitest. Sie arbeiten. Er, sie, es arbeitet. Wir arbeiten. Ihr arbeitet. Sie arbeiten. Sie arbeiten. Moving on to the next verb. Warten. Ich warte. Du wartest. Sie warten. Er, sie, es wartet. Wir warten. Ihr wartet. Sie warten. Sie warten. The next verb is antworten. Ich antworte. Du antwortest. Sie antworten. Er, sie, es antwortet. Wir antworten. Ihr antwortet. Sie antworten. Sie antworten. As mentioned before, don't get scared looking at these lists. You will get used to, and with time, easily conjugate each and every kind of verb. Now let's do an exercise. Übung. Fill in the blanks with the conjugated verb. Let's look at the first sentence. Your answer should be Veronika arbeitet bei Siemens. And now the second one. Your answer should be Was machst du am Wochenende? And the third one. The answer is Wohnt ihr in Köln? Let's look at the final one. The correct answer is Ich studiere Mathematik. Great! Hope you enjoyed today's lesson. In the next
Alright. Okay, now we'll quickly revise irregular verbs. Okay, so unregelmäßige Verben. Okay, after that we'll be doing similar exercises like they have given here. Na? So you have to fill in the blanks with the correct conjugation. Okay, so just give me one moment. I'll now put the irregular verbs also. You can, okay, so we'll complete these and then we will start with the practice. Okay, all right, so just give me a moment. I'll share my screen. Yeah, just tell me if the audio is clear. Okay,
Essen, sehen,
audible? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're saying that
nehmen, schlafen. These are some of the common irregular verbs in German. Let's learn some more irregular verbs and how to conjugate them. Hello everyone and welcome to our video series on Learn German for Beginners. In the last lesson, once again, Lektion 15. Unregelmäßige Verben. Once again, unregelmäßige Verben. Irregular verbs. Unregelmäßige Verben are also known as starke Verben. Let's first look at the learning objectives. We will first learn the basic conjugation rules for an irregular verb in present tense. After that, we will conjugate a few irregular verbs and in the end do a small exercise. Verbkonjugation im Präsens. We learned the structure of a regular verb in the previous lesson. In case of an irregular verb, the Verbstamm changes. The Endung can vary. It depends on whether the person or thing is in singular or in plural. Here you can see how a normal irregular verb is conjugated. You can see the various pronouns in singular and in plural. The verbs are conjugated accordingly. Do you remember the stem of the verb changes in case of du and er sie es? These changes in the Verbstamm are basically in the vowel. The conjugation for all other pronouns remains the same, like for regular verbs. Vokalwechsel. Here are the changes that you will notice when the vowel changes in irregular verbs. E changes to I or IE. For example, when we conjugate sprechen, it changes to du sprichst, or lesen, which changes to du liest. In the next two cases, notice the change in the sound. AU changes to A with umlaut. Laufen, du läufst. Fahren, du fährst. In the last case, I changes to EI. For example, wissen, du weißt. It's now time to conjugate some verbs from each category. Don't forget to listen and repeat. Verben mit Vokalwechsel E in I. The first verb is sprechen. Ich spreche. Du sprichst. Sie sprechen. Er, sie, es spricht. Wir sprechen. Ihr sprecht. Sie sprechen. Sie sprechen. The Vokalwechsel only takes place in the pronouns du and er, sie, es. Next verb is nehmen. Ich nehme. Du nimmst. Sie nehmen. Er, sie, es nimmt. Wir nehmen. Ihr nehmt. Sie nehmen. Sie nehmen. Well, do notice here that nehmen is an exception. And so is the next verb, treffen. Ich treffe. Du triffst. Sie treffen. Er, sie, es trifft. Wir treffen. Ihr trefft. Sie treffen. Sie treffen. The next verb is geben. Ich gebe. Du gibst. Sie geben. Er, sie, es gibt. Wir geben. Ihr gebt. Sie geben. Sie geben. Moving on to the next verb, essen. Ich esse. Du isst. Sie essen. Er, sie, es isst. Wir essen. Ihr esst. Sie essen. Sie essen.
This summer want instant glow? Super
is helfen. Ich helfe, du hilfst, sie helfen, er, sie, es hilft, wir helfen, ihr helft, sie helfen, sie helfen. Let's move on to the next category. Verben mit Vokalwechsel E in IE. The first verb is lesen. Ich lese, du liest, sie lesen, er, sie, es liest, wir lesen, ihr lest, sie lesen, sie lesen. The next verb is sehen. Ich sehe, du siehst, sie sehen, er, sie, es sieht, wir sehen, sie sehen, sie sehen. Now we come to Verben mit Vokalwechsel AU in EU. The verb here is laufen. Ich laufe, du läufst, sie laufen, er, sie, es läuft, wir laufen, sie laufen, sie laufen. Of course, there are more verbs that fall here, but right now we are just doing the verbs we require in A1. Here is the next category. Verben mit Vokalwechsel A in Ä. The first verb is fahren. Ich fahre, du fährst, sie fahren, er, sie, es fährt, wir fahren, ihr fahrt, sie fahren, sie fahren. The next one is schlafen. Ich schlafe, du schläfst, sie schlafen, er, sie, es schläft, wir schlafen, ihr schlaft, sie schlafen, sie schlafen. Let's look at the next verb. Waschen. Ich wasche, du wäschst, sie waschen, er, sie, es wäscht, wir waschen, ihr wascht, sie waschen, sie waschen. Now the last one. Verben mit Vokalwechsel I in EI. Here's the conjugation for wissen. Ich weiß, du weißt, sie wissen, er, sie, es weiß, wir wissen, ihr wisst, sie wissen, sie wissen. As you must have noticed, wissen is a special verb. Here the Vokalwechsel not only takes place for du and er, sie, es, but also for ich. These are just a few very important verbs you should know how to conjugate. Conjugating these verbs will easily come to you soon. Also remember, not all verbs with these vowels are irregular verbs. It's time for an exercise. Übung. Fill in the blanks with the conjugated verb. Let's look at the first sentence. Your answer should be: Fährst du nach Berlin? And now the second one. Was isst du zu Mittag? And third one. The answer is: Er spricht Deutsch und Spanisch. Let's look at the next one. The answer should be: Ich laufe gern am Wochenende. Let's look at the final one. Correct answer is: Sabine liest gerne Bücher. To practice more, become a patron free of cost and download.
Okay, verstanden? Yeah, all right. So now we will practice some verbs. Okay, so first we will start with identifying the verbs. Okay, so make sure first if you recollect the meaning of the noun. Okay, all right. So yeah, just give me 1 minute. All right. So just give me 2 minutes and just make an exercise for you. Just a second. Okay. All right. So we'll update this in your document. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll share my screen one. Yeah. Okay. So I'll so I'll put up some pictures, okay, one by one, and now you all have to identify what the verb is. You can put it on the chat, okay. So it's all right, kein Problem. Let me just share your document with you. Yeah. Okay. Verb Nummer eins. Yeah. Welches Verb ist das? What is the word? Yeah. You can put your answers in the chat. Welches Verb ist das? Okay. Schlafen. Everybody? Yeah. Das Verb ist schlafen. Okay. You all can type your answers in the chat. Okay. So, 2 Minuten. Wir konjugieren das Verb. Okay. So, we will conjugate this verb quickly. Okay. Yeah. Also, yeah. So, die Konjugation ist ich schlafe. Okay. Du. Okay. Yeah. Du schläfst. Okay. Okay. Du schläfst. Okay. Dann sie es schläft. Okay. We'll only write down the conjugation where there is a change, because then we already have the conjugation, no? So we'll just practice the one that is different. Okay. Sie es schläft und dann schlaft. Clear? Yeah. Any questions so far? Any doubts? Alles okay? And yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now I'll write down a sentence here. Okay. So we'll now see how to use these in, okay, in a sentence. So ich schlafe, du schläfst, sie schläft, ihr schlaft. Then wir schlafen, ihr schlaft, sie schlafen und so weiter. Okay? Alright. So, yeah. Okay? So now, clear? So if I write down a sentence here, say der Mann dash. Okay? Yeah. So der Satz ist here. Yeah. Der Mann schläft in der Nacht. Nacht is night. Remember, we did gute Nacht. Na? So der Mann dash in der Nacht. What will be the answer here? Der Mann is ich, du, sie oder es oder ihr or wir, whichever the rest of the conjugations. What will be the conjugation here? Yeah. You can type the answers in your chat box. Der Mann schläft. Okay, yeah, mit A Umlaut. Na? So dritte Person Konjugation, der Mann is er. Okay, so der Mann Antwort here is der Mann schläft. Okay, der Mann schläft in der Nacht. Klar? Alright? Okay. Now we again jetzt zu dem nächsten Verb. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let's see. Just some second. Here we go. This is our second word now. Yeah. Welches Verb is this? Yeah. Out of the verbs that we have learned, okay. So welches Verb is this? Yeah. What verb do you think this is? What are they doing? Yeah. The sehen, na? So they are watching television. So das Verb here is sehen. Just conjugate it here. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. The yeah. So the conjugation here is ich, sehe, okay, du siehst. Na? Sie, es sieht und ihr seht. Klar? Ja? So sie, es sieht, das heißt dann auch dann seht. Okay? So das ist die Konjugation here. Okay? So say for example, okay, so let's say ich dash, okay, what is it? Zum Beispiel, yeah, so what will be the word here? Ich was Fußball? Fußball ist klar, ne? Football. So ich sehe, genau. Ja, okay. So das ist ich sehe Fußball. Klar? Okay. Right. Okay. Let's go to the next word. Okay. Now, yeah. Welches Verb ist das? Welches Verb ist das? Okay. Das Verb ist trinken. Okay, genau. Ja? Alright. So, ja. Trinken, regelmäßig, unregelmäßig. Okay. Ja. Alright. So, yeah. Das Verb ist trinken. Alright. So, we'll write down the conjugation here. Ich trinke. Okay. Du trinkst. Okay. Then LCS trinkt. Then we are trinken. Okay. Ihr trinkt regular verb. Okay. Sie trinken. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I were to make a sentence, okay. Say if I were to make a sentence here. Okay. So if I were to make a sentence that said, zum Beispiel, let's use the image. So die Frau dash, okay, Wasser. Yeah. So what will be your verb here? Die Frau. One second. This is trinkt only. Sorry, there is a typo here. Yeah, RZS trinkt, ihr trinkt. So this will be die Frau. And what is trinkt? Okay, genau. So die Frau trinkt Wasser. Alright? Okay. Also, then we'll do one more of this. Then we will move to another exercise where I'll just put up some sentences. Okay. Any question? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Also, then weiter. Mm, okay, I'll just choose it. I'll just arrange this for you all later on. Okay, I'll just align everything properly once the class is done. Okay, yeah. So, what do you think this word is? Okay, yeah. Let's just where is this? Anybody? Yeah, laufen. Okay, yeah. One way we can use it is we can use it as laufen. Any other word that comes to your mind? If you all have heard it anywhere, right? Okay. So one way is that yes, you can use this verb as laufen. Okay, that is where you are stating that yes, somebody is running. So laufen can be used otherwise also. Okay, so laufen can be used as something when you say you run or okay, you walk. Yeah. Noch ein Verb here is this verb joggen. Okay, so you can use this as laufen or you can use this as joggen. Okay, now laufen ist ein unregelmäßiger Verb mit A Umlaut. Okay, So das ist the, yeah. Okay. So das Verb here is ich laufe. Okay. Du läufst. Okay. Ja. Sie es läuft. Okay. Ihr lauft. Okay. Joggen ist ein regelmäßiges Verb. Okay. So it is a regular verb where the stem remains the same. Okay. So your conjugation for joggen becomes ich jogge. Okay. Du joggst. Okay. Sie es joggt. Okay. Then wir joggen. Ihr joggt. Sie joggen. Okay. So if I say wir dash jeden Tag. Jeden Tag is every day. Okay. So wir dash jeden Tag. Yeah. Which is verb common here? Yeah. Wir joggen jeden Tag. Ja, so man kann hier schreiben, wir joggen jeden Tag. Okay. Oder wir laufen jeden Tag. Klar? Verstanden? Okay. Alright. Okay. We'll do a couple of more verbs. Or a 9. You want to do something else? Yeah. Then yes. Okay. Yeah. So, alright. Now let's first take a look at the examples that we have done. Wir joggen jeden Tag oder wir laufen jeden Tag. Die Frau trinkt Wasser. Ich sehe Fußball. Dann zum Beispiel der Mann schläft in der Nacht. Okay, so these are statements, ja oder nein? Yeah, das sind Sätze, ne? They are statements. Anything particular that you find here about these statements? Yeah, any observation when it comes to the statements? Nummer eins is, of course, we are conjugating the word. Okay, yeah. What else? Anybody observes anything? Not starting with any new concept here, but just I'm just giving you a window into it, like what we will be doing in the next. Yeah, anybody?
They are in simple present tense.
Yes, correct. They are in simple present tense. Okay. So the first thing that you have to learn in Deutsch when it comes to tenses is that we do not have continuous tenses. Okay. If you look at the statements, everywhere we have one verb at a time. So it says der Mann schläft. Or for that matter, even look at how the conjugations are. Ich lese, du liest, sie es liest. Ich schlafe, du schläfst. Okay? Ich sehe, du siehst, sie es sieht. Wir sehen. Ich trinke, du trinkst. Ich laufe, du läufst. Okay? So Punkt Nummer eins is the Zeitform. Okay? So we do not have continuous tenses in Deutsch. Okay? This is first thing. So, the concept of I am eating, I am drinking, I am cooking does not exist here in Deutsch at all. Okay, so this is something that is not going to be there. I'll discuss this, or when we do the grammatic, no, when I share the notes with you, the notes will always have possible errors. Okay, so if you translate, there is a chance that you will be making these errors. Okay, so for example, we have learned the verb sein. Okay, sein is to be, na? Ich bin, du bist, es ist, und so weiter. So a lot of times when students translate, they literally translate it. I am going. Ich bin gehe. I am eating. Ich bin esse. Das ist total falsch. Okay, so the reasons you should know these errors is that if you ever hear yourself speaking like this, you need to know that, nine, this is false, it is wrong. Okay, so we do not have a continuous tense in Deutsch at all. As far as your A1 is concerned, we are going to be focusing majorly only on the present tense. That is, we are going to be learning everything in the present tense, no matter what we learn, words, sentences, questions, everything is going on now. That is, everything is going on in this moment. Okay, and it is called as einfach presence, okay, or simple presence. Okay, so we do not have continuous tenses in any form. So like, it's not like in English you have, okay, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. There is no continuous, it's the same thing. So when I say ich gehe, ich fahre, ich laufe, ich spiele, ich höre, this is me as a subject doing that action right now, or the doer of that action. Okay, there is no concept of I am doing something right now. Okay, so that is the first thing. That is why no translations. We learn it as it is. That is why we learn those conjugations. Okay, so all of this is simple present tense. At the end of the course, we will be doing a little bit of past, but it's more so like an introduction to past. You have that again in detail when you do A2. Okay, but for now, for the major portion of your course, everything is present. Okay, so that is first, that is the tense here in these statements is present. Anything else that you all find peculiar? Okay, don't worry about the formatting, I'll format that properly later on. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I'll put it properly so that you all can refer it later on in that sequence. What else? Der Mann schläft in der Nacht, ist sehr Fußball. Die Frau trinkt Wasser. Wir joggen or wir laufen jeden Tag. Anything else that you see here? Particular that you observe? Anything else? No? Yeah or no? No? Where is the verb placed in in the sentence? Wir joggen. Okay, die Frau trinkt. Ich sehe. Der Mann schläft. Okay, where is your verb here? Anybody? Wo ist das Verb? Any idea? No? Okay.
I think it's just after the subject.
It is after the subject, okay. But it's not necessary. Like, your sentence can start with something else. So let me give you one example. So if I make a sentence that says, am Wochenende. Okay, Wochenende is weekend. Okay. I say am Wochenende jogge ich. Okay. So I'm saying, yeah, I don't jog every day. Jeden Tag, nein. Am Wochenende jogge ich. Now what do you all think? Is it after the ish? Yeah or no? Is it after the ish? Nine? Anybody wants to take a guess? Okay. Alright. So when we do Deutsche Grammatik now, although of course we'll be focusing on communication, sentence structures, okay, how to make the questions and everything. But Deutsche Grammatik is not flexible. Okay, a lot of times when you speak in English, or we have other languages also, that in European languages, where the focus is basically on just making the sentence. Okay, in terms of, you are not really thinking about rules, and you're not really thinking about the little bits and pieces in the sentence. But in Deutsch, that is sorry, in Deutsch, that is very, very important. That is, when you're making a sentence, your sentence can't be random. Okay, there is certain structure that your sentence has to follow. Okay, So we don't have a whole lot of rules when it comes to say statements for now, I would say, okay, as we are starting out. But there is one primary rule that you all have to remember when you make a sentence is that in a sentence, the verb is always gonna be at position 2. Okay, so we are starting out with simple sentences, basic sentences. Of course, your sentences are going to get more complex as you go ahead. You're going to be learning more concepts, so you're going to be introduced to different rules. Okay, but right now, sorry, but right now, the statements that we are making, like these, na, we are jogging, ich esse, ich trinke, and whatever later, ich esse the sandwich, zum Beispiel, ich trinke Wasser, okay, oder die Frau trinkt Wasser. If you observe everywhere, I'm so sorry, just give me a minute. Ja, if you observe everywhere, das Verb steht immer auf Position 2. That is, the verb is going to be at the second position. Okay, so it doesn't matter what your statement starts with. Okay, your verb is going to be position 2. Okay, this is the fundamental rule to sentence formation in Deutsch. So right now we have three things. Okay, es gibt drei wichtigste Sachen. Nummer eins, the tense, like you all correctly pointed out, it is present that we are learning. Everything is happening in the now. Okay, we don't have a continuous tense. We use the conjugation as it is without any supporting word, without any I am doing this or you are doing this. Okay, so that's okay, so that's broken. Sorry. Ja, Entschuldigung. Okay, so das brauchen wir nicht. Okay, so zuerst das Verb steht immer in Präsens. Okay, no continuous. Second is your verb is going to be conjugated always. Okay, so depending on who the doer of that action is, das ist ich oder du oder oder sie oder es, wir, ihr. Na? Depending on the doer of your action, you are going to conjugate the verb. Okay, if you don't conjugate the verb, your sentence is grammatically incorrect. Klar? So, man muss dann die Verben konjugieren. Okay, alle Verben soll man konjugieren. That is, all verbs should be conjugated. Okay, and the third thing is the positioning of your verb in a sentence. Okay, so das Verb steht immer auf Position 2. Okay, so the verb is always going to come at second position. Of course, we'll learn this more in detail when we meet next week on Friday, but remember these three rules to sentence formation in Deutsch. Okay, you all can use them, and that is how you will make sure that your sentence is correct. Because see, when you speak in the class, I can correct it. When you actually go out there and speak, you will not find anybody who will correct what you are speaking. So you need to do self assessment constantly. Okay, because if you make a mistake here in the class, I can correct you. But if you're going out there, you're talking to your colleagues, you're talking to let's say somebody, in the supermarket, you're buying a ticket, that person is only interested in understanding what you are saying. He doesn't care if your Deutsch is right or wrong, to be very honest. Okay, so you need to know the possible errors that you can make. You need to know if your sentence is correct or no while you speak it. Okay, so by remembering these rules, you take that, you know that at the back of my mind, at the back of your mind, that okay, this is how my sentence should sound like. So for example, if I say jeden Tag wir joggen. Okay, every day we jog, for example. Okay, now in English, maybe it's a correct statement because then we don't have that many, or the rules are not that strict. Okay, so I can say I jog every day. Yeah, every day I jog. Okay, in a way, you shuffle that sentence a whole lot. Here, although you can shuffle the sentence, your verb cannot move. Okay, so because we only have one verb here, Why is it okay to do in maybe other languages? Because we are using multiple verbs at the time. Every day we go jogging, so there is like a lot of words which are used here. Aber hier steht das Verb immer auf Position 2. So if you see the difference, wir joggen jeden Tag oder am Wochenende jogge ich oder jeden Tag jogge ich. Joggen is gonna take position 2. Okay, so we'll elaborate more on this as we go ahead, okay, in the course. So in the next class we will be doing questions and answers. Okay, so we're going to be starting with that, how to ask the question, how to answer, like we did our self introduction, fragen und antworten, that is question and answer. Okay, so I'll give you all some examples now. Okay, I'll write down a few sentences. You can try and write down the conjugations, the answers to them. Okay, we'll not get into the technicalities of the sentence here a whole lot, but our focus is only going to be conjugations for now. Okay, so the remaining then we will cover it next week. Okay, so ich schreibe jetzt einige Sätze hier. Okay, ergänzen Sie das Verb Konjugation. Okay, oder konjugieren Sie die Verben. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll give you the verb in the bracket so you know which verb we are using. You just have to conjugate. I'm using nouns which are pretty simple to understand. So restaurant, super, you can make out what these were nouns are. I'm not using nouns which are ultimately, different or difficult. But still, if you don't understand anything, just let me know. Okay. Okay, so you can write down the verbs. Okay, conjugate the verbs. Once you are done, we'll discuss the answers. Okay, so conjugieren Sie jetzt die Verben. You can write this down. Okay, in your books. Okay, so I'll give you all 5 more minutes. Finish this. Okay, and then we will discuss. Okay, yeah. Note that verb is everywhere position two. Okay, now how this is position two, all of that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So Makan Vedas, then we shall discuss. I'll add two more sentences. And then the fetish, I all done. Take your time, go through the conjugations. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Understand this. We'll be doing a lot of such statements. Okay. Yeah. If you all are ready, then we can discuss the answers. If you all still need some time, it's okay. So all those of you who have completed, okay, we can just wait a few more minutes. Okay. All those. Anybody needs more time, you all can let me know. Yeah. Okay. Beginnen wir. Noch 2 Minuten. Ja. Okay. 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 All right. So let us start. Okay. Now, when you are making a sentence yourself, or you are reading a sentence like this, which is given in front of you, the first thing we have to do is to identify if it is first person, second person, third person. I haven't included any formal sentences here because we were conjugating, no, practicing the conjugation. So there's not much there. So I have used less of formal fragment, but once we do the statements and all, we'll be doing all of them. Like they're going to be a bunch, like a bunch of mixed exercises. Okay, so Nummer eins. Daniel dash Deutsch. Okay. So das Verb is lernen. Now Daniel is dritte Person. Now how is the dritte Person? Okay, this is the second most common confusion. A lot of times students assume this to be a second person. Okay. But think about this, in any language, whenever I address a second person, no, I always use a pronoun. So unless and until I am using do, or unless and until I am using ear, or unless and until I am using formal z, it cannot be a second person. So even if I call somebody by name, let's say I am the first person, Daniel is my second person. I will not call him Daniel. Even if I take his name, I'll say, "Hello, Daniel. Du wohnst, du kommst, du lernst." Yeah. So that do is always going to be present. So whenever you are taking names without a pronoun, I'll say Daniel. In a lot of sentences, we have that. Now, Ronald, Florian und Lena, Gregor. Das sind alle dritte Person. Because I am talking to somebody about this person. So Daniel here is dritte Person. Dritte Person, masculine, er. So mein Konjugation is, okay, er lernt. Okay, so this is lernt Deutsch. Klar? Daniel lernt Deutsch. Lernt Deutsch. There is just a pronoun. I'm using the noun entirely. Okay, that is Daniel. So Daniel lernt Deutsch. Okay, then weiter. Ich gehe. Okay, gehen is to go somewhere. Ja? So das ist ein regelmäßiges Verb. Ich gehe, du gehst, sie es geht, Stamm bleibt, wie es ist. Okay, klar? Also, so das ist, ich gehe ins Restaurant oder in das Restaurant. Okay, then weiter nochmals Donald, dritte Person. Donald tanzt gern. Oder Ronald tanzt gern. Entschuldigung. Now that gern is that smiley face. Okay, it adds emotion to your sentence. So when you prefer to do something, when you like doing something, you often put that emotion in the sentence. Okay, so that is then gern. Okay, so Ronald tanzt gern. Okay, then Florian und Lena kochen die Suppe. Now again, why? Firstly, this is plural. Florian und Lena. We are talking about zwei Personen. Now we are talking about two people. Now why is it kochen? Because they are firstly plural. Now we have to see what kind of plural it is. It is not ear, now because I have not used the pronoun. So it cannot be second person. So that is the plural. Okay, so Florian und Lena kochen die Suppe. Klar? Dann weiter, wir reisen in Januar. Okay, reisen is to travel. Na? So we are reisen. So I can say I along with somebody else. Okay, so this is done. Ich reise, wir reisen. So wir reisen in Januar. Okay, nochmals. Das Verb ist hören. Gregor ist er. So das ist dann Gregor hört Jazzmusik. Okay, klar? Then weiter. This we have done a lot of times. So this is du wohnst in Paris. Okay, so ich wohne, du wohnst in Paris. Okay, then ihr. So I am the first person. For me, you all are the second persons. I'll call you all as ihr. So das ist dann ihr spricht Deutsch. Okay, ich spreche, du sprichst, sie es spricht. So this term changes at du and sie es. However, ihr is spricht. So ihr spricht sehr gut Deutsch. Okay, then weiter, der Mann fährt das Auto. Fahren is to drive. Na? So wer fährt? Who is driving? He is driving. So third person, er, masculine. So das is er fährt das Auto. Understanding? Anybody has any questions so far? Any doubts? Anything not clear? Alles okay? So far good? Also. Dann die Kinder. Nochmals, sie Plural. So, die Kinder spielen Cricket. Okay? So, die Kinder spielen Cricket. Then Maria arbeitet bei Volkswagen. Again, Maria is Z feminine dritte Person. Okay, she works with Volkswagen. Okay, the smaller peculiarities we will learn. Why is it by Volkswagen? Okay, so Maria arbeitet bei Volkswagen. Okay, then ich bestelle die Pizza online. Bestellen heißt to order. Okay, that is why the word. Okay, even if you're sitting and you're ordering in a restaurant, the verb there is bestellen. So ich bestelle die Pizza online. Das ist regelmäßig. Okay, then weiter. Ihr wascht das Auto. Klar? Ihr wäscht, nein, ihr wascht. Okay? Ja. Also, then Sandra isst das Sandwich. Sandra is dritte Person feminine, sie. So das ist isst. So sie isst das Sandwich. Die Frau kauft das Buch. Entschuldigung. Ja, so ich kaufe, aber die Frau kauft. So die Frau kauft das Buch. Kaufen is to purchase, to buy. Okay? Then weiter. Sein. Remember, we've done sein and haben. I'll show you the videos for that also. Okay? Sein is to be. So, das ist Max. I'm saying, yeah, where is das? Who is this? This is Max. So, das ist Max. Max hat zwei Kinder. Dritte Person, again, er. So, Max hat zwei Kinder. Okay? Dann weiter. Ich heiße Paula. Okay? Ja. Ich habe 10 Kulis. Okay? Und die Flasche ist blau. Blau is this. This is blue color. Blau. Okay? So die Flasche is the bottle ist blau. Why? Because again this is dritte Person. Na? Sie. This is dritte Person. R-Z-S. So die Flasche ist blau. Verstanden? Anybody has any questions so far? Any doubts? Anything not understood? Klar? Ja oder nein? Is this okay? Clear? Alright. So haben and sein, we have done the conjugation. I'll add those videos, okay, over here. Alright, you all can watch those conjugations. Okay, so clear. So now for the last 10 minutes I'm gonna start with a short series. Okay, so this is given at the channel for Goethe Institute. They have some videos which will help the learners. Okay, so it's a short series of 8 episodes. I'll show you one episode in each class, probably not every class, but as we go ahead proceed with the grammar, so that you all are in a position to understand it. Okay, so we'll watch that video. Okay, I'll share the link with you all to all of these conjugations. So in the next 4 5 days that we don't have a class, that it's a holiday, just practice all of this, just go through this. Okay, and if you have any questions you can let me know in the next class on Friday. All right. Okay, so yeah, so schnell wir sehen ein Video, we'll watch a video. Okay, and then we will stop for today. Okay, any so far good? Anybody still has any questions with the conjugations? Nine, alles okay? Okay, super. So wir sehen jetzt dieses Video. Okay, yeah. Alright, so we'll watch this. Just tell me if the audio is clear to everybody. Okay. Audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay.
Ich heiße Nevin. Kenne ich Sie? Nein, ich bin neu hier.
Junge Frau, Sie müssen hier aussteigen.
Entschuldigung, bin ich hier richtig?
Das kommt darauf an. Ich weiß ja nicht, wo Sie hinwollen. Wohin wollen Sie denn?
Agentur für Arbeit.
Ach, zum Arbeitsamt wollen Sie. Ja, da sind Sie ja schon richtig. Ah, da kommt er.
Ist das mein Bus?
Ja, ja.
Ich möchte zur Agentur für Arbeit.
Haben Sie eine Fahrkarte?
Nein. Noch nicht.
Das Ticket müssen Sie am Automaten kaufen. Auf die 1 drücken. Nummer 1.
Er meint die 1 beim Automaten.
Danke.
Warten Sie, Sie brauchen Kleingeld.
Vielen Dank.
Gerne.
Einen schönen Tag noch. Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Kann ich mich bitte setzen? Schauen Sie, der Platz ist für Alte und Kranke.
Aufgeführt hat. Und wie sie aussieht. Die hat mir eiskalt eine 6 gegeben. Ja.
Junge Frau, Sie müssen hier aussteigen. Agentur für Arbeit.
Danke.
Bitte.
Tschüss.
Ciao.
Vielen, vielen Dank.
Yeah, okay. So I'll share this video with you if y'all want to watch it later with English subtitles, y'all can, but it's okay. Y'all can try to understand the context of it. So whatever they say, usually it happens alongside in these videos. So y'all can pick up those words like that. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's the style is done. We'll stop for now. Okay, so we'll meet directly now next next Friday. Okay, so Monday and Wednesday is a holiday. Okay, but there'll be a reminder, I'm sure, that will be put up. Okay, so revise all of this. If you have any questions, we'll discuss it once more on Friday, and then Friday onwards, we'll go to the next module, which is then Satzstruktur, Fragestruktur, okay, questions and statements. Okay, so yeah, I guess das ist alles dann. Schönen Tag noch. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Schönes Wochenende. And I will see you all next week.
Auf
Okay?
Wiederhören.
Okay, ja, danke schön. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao.
Danke.
Ja, bitte schön. Tschüss.
Ciao.
Ja, tschüss.
Danke, ma'am.
Ja, bitte. Ciao.